Carson Palmer back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Carson?
I'm doing great, Rich. Thanks for having me on.
Please. Thanks for calling in. So walk me through this process here and how you decided, you know what, I'm going to suit up one more year here in Arizona.
Yeah, I obviously very excited. I love playing the game, love everything about it. But at some point, your body tells you when to stop. And the season ended. I just went into Steve Keim and Coach Arians and just asked him if I could take a month and make sure my body was going to get back to 100%, make sure my body was going to bounce back and give me another shot at it. I took the month and body's recovered well, feel great, feel ready to start getting going on the off season again. And it was never about anything other than my body, my mind, my passion, all the things that it takes to play this game. I still have, and the desire to study, the desire to train, the desire to get ready for games I have. It's just, you start getting old like me and start getting gray hair, your body starts telling you no, and at some point it will. But I'm excited that I've responded. My body's responded, and I get to keep playing.
So it could be more than just this 1 year. You're on a sort of a year-to-year plan here, Carson?
I mean, it's all. Well, I feel like after 33, 34, 35 years old, you got to take it one at a time. Like I just said, I enjoy the game. I love everything about it. I'd love to continue playing, but at this point in my career, it's a 1 year at a time type of deal.
Yeah, I know we heard that from Ben Roethlisberger this year, and it left folks in Pittsburgh with their jaw on the floor that he couldn't give a definitive answer whether he's coming back next year. So what is it? What is the rigors like? I mean, can you put words to the rigors of playing quarterback in the National Football League, Carson Palmer?
Well, it's obviously very physical. I just feel that what I've noticed and what I've noticed with my body is the older you get, the later on in the week you start feeling better. So as when you're 23, 24, 25, you play Sunday, and then by Tuesday or Wednesday you start feeling good and you feel like, all right, I got this again, and you get ready to play on Sunday. As you get to the 35, 36, 37, sometimes it takes up until Thursday, Friday to recover from the previous Sunday and get yourself ready to play next Sunday. So, every off season is different, and when you're younger, it takes a week or two, and all of a sudden your body feels good. As you get to be my age, it took me a month to feel good and feel like, okay, my body's responded. I started working out again. I can do this again. So the older you get, the longer it takes to recover.
Now, Carson, you and I have known each other for quite some time, so I need an honest answer here. Is part of this the fact that you spent a month with all those crazy young kids of yours, and you thought, I got to get the heck up out of here and start playing football?
No doubt. I mean, Three weeks in, I think I had changed my 900th diaper, and I started getting a little tendonitis in the left hand from all the diaper changes for my 1-year-old. So
we can't.
I got to that point, and I started realizing, man, the off season is pretty short, but retirement's really long. So I'm going to make sure this stays as an off season, not retirement.
See, I knew I'd get that honest answer from you, Carson Palmer, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. What'd you think of Super Bowl 51, Carson?
Oh, it's just unreal. That's why this game is so special, because even when everybody says it's over and you don't have a shot, before you know it, it's two-score game, one-score game, it's tied up, and it's going into the first overtime ever. Just unbelievable finish to the 2016 season, and that's why this game is so popular and so much fun to play.
So what do you think Matt Ryan is thinking today?
Well, I'm sure he's taken, a couple weeks before he really does anything. He's probably not leaving the house. He's probably not listening to the Rich Eisen Show, unfortunately, today. Probably not watching ESPN and checking Twitter and all that. Probably just trying to get away from it to get ready to reload for another season.
And how difficult is it to get over losses? I mean, is it more difficult as you get older? Because coaches that I've spoken to, when they say that they know it's time to maybe get out of the coaching game, is that the euphoria of wins lasts shorter than the depression of losses. Carson.
Yeah, all losses are hard. I mean, regular season losses are difficult. I can't imagine losing in the Super Bowl. They burn, they sting, and for whatever reason during the season, when you win, you enjoy it on Sunday, but then you want to win again, so you start preparing so hard on Monday that you're right, the elation and the joy of the win is gone. But when you lose on Sunday, you feel it all the way until that next win. So there's no doubt that the joy of wins is much shorter, and it just stinks that it's that way because you work so hard for those wins, and even when you do lose, you put so much in and you work so hard for it. You can't help but feel for all the Falcons. I mean, just to come out that way, to come out of halftime and come out of that locker room with the mindset that they probably had, and then to lose that game like that, it's going to take a while for them to get over, I think.
And then watching as a veteran quarterback yourself, who is now 37, seeing Tom Brady push 40 and do what he did in that Super Bowl, I mean, how do you think he does it, Carson?
Well, I think everybody has a routine that works for them, and obviously, Tom's always talking about recovery and taking care of his body, and the young guys don't get it, and I didn't get it when I was 26, 27. But once you hit that 30, and then you hit 33, and then you keep going, it's so important. Rest, recovery, diet, all the supplements you take. But for Tom to be going on 40 and do that, that's motivation for me, and I'm sure the other quarterbacks in the league that are our age. That's very motivating to see him still doing it, because just naturally you start thinking, well, I can do it too. So it was great to see. The old guys always love seeing the other old guys have success, because that gives them hopefully a chance to keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, do you reach out to find out what he is in fact doing and how he is in fact doing his thing to see how it matches up with what you're doing, Carson?
No, I think he's very secretive. I think a lot of guys are very secretive, and everybody feels like they have an edge and they have an advantage. And, I know I've felt that way over a handful of things. I'm sure with all the success that Tom's had, he's got a bunch of things that he's keeping tight to the vest, and maybe one day he'll find a way to market those ideas, and maybe other people can gain some benefit from that. And it's just everybody's, like I said, everybody's got their own way, their own way to recover, their own way to be ready to play the next week, and I think he's got something special going because he's been doing it for a long time.
So what do you tell Matt Ryan about his new offensive coordinator, your quarterback coach when you won the Heisman, and Steve Sarkisian, Carson?
Yeah, I was shocked, just like everybody. Coach Sark is extremely bright. He knows football inside and out. Knows obviously offensive football, and he's not going to sit back and do it the same way everybody else is doing it. He even when I was with him 16, 17, 18 years ago, he was always focused on being innovative and looking for new ways to do things that people have been doing the same for so long. He's always trying to expand. And it seemed like Pete was always trying to hold him back a little bit, being a young coach. And he loved his enthusiasm and loved the way he was always trying to be innovative, trying to change things up, trying to see what he could get out of certain plays or certain schemes. And, he's got a lot more experience now. He's coached at a bunch of different levels, coached at a number of different college teams, and been around a bunch of different types of athletes. And he's taken over the number one of the top two or three offenses in the league with Julio and Matt and that running game. And he's in a really good situation, so I'm excited for him.
And then back at the alma mater, they got a pretty special quarterback right now, and all I hear about Sam Darnold, Carson, is that he's a more mobile Carson Palmer. Do you take that as a compliment or a hold on a second type comment?
No, I've never been known to be very mobile.
Okay.
So I'm going to go and I'm going to take it as a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the FC's in great hands with Lynn Swan as the athletic director. Coach Helton's done a phenomenal job. They keep getting these top 3, 4, 5, 6 recruiting classes. Great young quarterback. I'm really excited. I kind of feel like we're kind of out of all the sanctions and all the restrictions with scholarships, and we're finally in a position to compete for getting in this tournament and trying to win a national championship. It's been a rough half decade or whatever it's been since all the sanctions, and it kind of finally feels like we've gotten out of that, and we're in that dark cloud's not hanging over our heads anymore. And obviously with the Rose Bowl win, it looks to be that's the case. Well,
that kid's pretty special, it looks like. Have you reached out to him? Have you spoken to him? Any relationship at all with Sam Darnold?
I don't know him. Okay. I'm sure at some point, hopefully, I'll get a chance to work out and throw with him back in Los Angeles over the off season. But I mean, he's a gamer. When you watch him play, there's so many plays that break down, and all of a sudden he fires a ball to a crossing route, or finds a way to get out of a sack and keeps his eyes downfield, throws a touchdown pass. I mean, he's just a natural gamer, and guys like that only get better with repetition. Obviously, he's kind of new on the scene and doesn't have a ton of experience, but for him to come on the scene that quickly and have the success he's had, I'm really excited to see the future that he's going to have.
Well, it helps to be a more mobile Carson Palmer, right? When it all comes down to it.
No doubt. Gosh, I'd give anything to run like 4. What'd you run at the combine? 4.3, 4.4, something like that?
Let me check on that information. Yeah.
Get your stat guy on that. Something like that. That has to be fun, right?
Oh, gosh. Well, when you get to be my age, Carson, it's just 1 year at a time, Usually I bounce back right away after the first run doesn't break the record, but I find it more and more difficult. But, I just sit there and I think to myself, I don't want to go home to those 3 crazy kids, so I'm going to go run again. That's just like you.
Well, and you're a physical specimen, and your body recovers like top-tier athletes in this country. So, you seem like you could just run 40 after 40 after 40 and really not get tired.
Well, I don't want to spike the football on you, Carson, but I'm a fellow Michigan man, so Brady shares with me how he stays so young, and he may not be you, but he does. I kind of know. Actually, the funny thing is, Susie, my wife, she says to me, "Why don't you reach out to Brady to see how he does it, what he eats or whatever?" And I'm thinking to myself, no way. No, I don't want to eat like that. I mean,
no, it's no fun.
No, I don't want to wake up and have like a kale smoothie or whatever the heck he's doing, but no offense.
No, omelets and dessert. That's the goal, right?
Omelets for dessert. That's the way I roll.
There you go.
Carson, thanks for calling in. You take care of yourself, okay?
Thanks, Rich. Good catching up, man.
Same here. That's Carson Palmer.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.